We are at the Museum of Modern Art, the Moma in New York City. I have been visiting the Moma since the 1960s, and today I brought a GoPro to share the art I love with you. Moma is the second most visited art museum in New York City, with well over 2 million visitors each year. It has one of the largest and most influential modern art collections in the world. I love my Moma because every time I visit, I see something new and unexpected. Like Rafiq Anadol's AI work, unsupervised. Anadol is a Turkish artist based in Los Angeles. First, let's take a quick look at the art, then later a slow, leisurely stroll through the entire collection. The idea for the Museum of Modern Art was developed in 1929 primarily by Abby Aldrich Rockefeller. That good-looking woman you see right there, she was the wife of John D. Rockefeller Jr. Abby and two of her friends rented very modest quarters for the new museum at 730 Fifth Avenue, and the Moma opened to the public November 7th, 1929. If that sounds like a familiar date, it was 9 days after the crash on Wall Street. What do you say we begin our tour at the Sculpture Gardens? Since its opening back in 1939, the Abby Aldrich Rockefeller Sculpture Garden, yeah, that's that girl again, has been one of New York City's most beloved green spaces. This is Katharina Fritzsch's surprising group of figures. Whether you love it or hate it, if you're wondering who did this, well, there she is right there, Katharina Fritzsch, a German sculptor. Here's a personal favorite, Wang Chi Mutu's Mama Ray, half woman, half manta ray. There is Miss Mutu. She lives and works in Brooklyn, New York. Here's one that's kind of hard to believe, a sculpture incorporating a live bee colony by Pierre Huey. In a little more traditional vein, here is Pablo Picasso's 1952 She-Goat. Okay, let's take a look at the sculpture inside the museum. This is from 1988 Jeff Koons, The Pink Panther. This is artist Richard Serra's very stark work, Equal. As we continue our look at the indoor sculpture, please keep in mind that the Moma has over 150,000 individual pieces. The Moma has furniture scattered around the entire museum, and some of it doesn't look very comfortable. from way back in 1927. This is Marcel Breuer's club chair. Perhaps that is what an Art Deco baby bed looks like. There are over 22,000 films at the MoMA. Some are really interesting, like this guy placing skulls over his skull, and some way less so, like this movie Bottoms from Yoko Ono. Yes, that Yoko Ono. When Bottoms premiered in London, England, the British Board of Film Censors had already guaranteed its commercial success by giving it an X rating. This movie is from Austrian-born Valley Export. Okay, I saved the best for last. The heart of the collection are the paintings. This, of course, is Picasso's Les Demoiselles d'Avignon. Here is another Picasso, the 1932 masterpiece Girl Before a Mirror, which is dedicated to his mistress, girlfriend, and model Marie-Therese Walter. If you're a big fan of Pablo Picasso, there'll be plenty for you here at the MoMA. The first time I saw Salvador Dali's The Persistence of Memory was way back in the 60s, and I was astounded. Dali called this a hand-painted dream photograph. This is Henri Rousseau's The Sleeping Gypsy, somewhat of a Beauty and the Beast painting. Here's another Henri Rousseau, his 1910 painting called The Dream. By the way, Rousseau was a self-taught artist. Perhaps the most talked about painting in the collection, Andrew Wyeth's Christina's World. This is Portrait of Christina Olson, who was Wyeth's disabled neighbor. This amazing work is from Henri Matisse, and it's called, not surprisingly, Dance. Here is Henri Matisse's Water Lilies mural. This is Henri Matisse's 1911 work, The Red Studio. Matisse, shown here, was the first artist to receive a solo exhibition of their work at the Museum of Modern Art. From 1911, this is Marc Chagall's I and the Village. This is Magritte's 1928 surrealist masterpiece, The Lovers. It's a little creepy, especially if you know that the artist's mother drowned herself when the artist was 14, and he saw her pulled from the water with her wet nightgown wrapped around her face. From 1929, another Magritte, The False Mirror. If you were wondering what the surrealist master Magritte looked like, here you go. This is Frida Kahlo's self-portrait with cropped hair from 1940. Kahlo and the artist Diego Rivera had a long-term and tortured relationship. Pete Mondrian's Broadway Boogie Woogie is a love letter to his adopted city, New York City. Andy Warhol's Gold Marilyn, it is based on a film still from the movie Niagara. Here's another Warhol, cleverly titled Campbell's Soup Cans. It depicts the 32 varieties of Campbell's soup. This is Jasper John's 1954 Flag. This painting helped usher in a new decade of pop art and minimalism. Here's Target with Four Faces, also from Jasper Johns. Opus 217 is by Paul Signac. This is an almost psychedelic portrait of his friend, art dealer and critic Felix Villon. This masterpiece is James Rosenquist's F-111 from back in 1965. This painting is about a little bit of everything that was going on at the time, including the F-111 fixed-wing bomber. The American pop artist James Rosenquist was born in 1933 and cut his teeth as an advertising billboard sign painter. Girl with Ball is Roy Lichtenstein's 1961 pop art classic. Lichtenstein took this image from an ad for a hotel in Pennsylvania's Pocono Mountains. Jim Dine is an American pop artist born in 1935. The tools you see are remembrances of his grandfather's workshop. Jackson Pollock's One, number 31, 1950, considered to be a masterpiece of his drip technique. And here's another Jackson Pollock that looks a heck of a lot like the last one. This is an oil on canvas with added gold and platinum. It's called Hope 2, and it's by Gustav Klimt. In case you were wondering, the painting depicts a pregnant woman by the name of Herma, one of the artist's favorite models. Also from Gustav Klimt is this very different painting, The Park, from 1910. Mark Rothko-born Marcus Rothkowitz was a Latvian-born American abstract painter. He is best known for his color field paintings. This painting is called, cleverly, Irises by Dutch-born artist Vincent van Gogh. After Germany was defeated in World War I, portrait painters like Otto Dix, Lovis Corinth, and George Grosz created remarkable, matter-of-fact, realistic portraits. Here is Ferdinand Léger's Cubist masterpiece, Exit at Ballet Russe. This is another Léger masterpiece, Three Women. The bodies of these three nude women have simplified forms and simple shapes. The Mexican modern masters are well represented. This is Diego Rivera and Jose Clementino Orozco. The original graffiti artist is Jean Dubuffet, and here is his wall of inscriptions. There's probably not a lot of middle ground for the works of Francis Bacon. You either understand and love the work or hate it. This is Study for Portrait 7. Swiss-born Paul Klee did most of his work in Germany. This is Mask of Fear. And here's one of my favorites, Cat and Bird. Paul Klee served in the German army during World War I, but after the war, the Nazis declared him a degenerate, and they seized 102 of his works from private collections in Germany. I could just go on and on and on with the amazing work here at the MoMA, from numbers all the way to helicopters. Hope you enjoyed your tour of MoMA as much as I did presenting it to you. And if you did, please hit the like button and please comment down below. Also, I'd love to have you subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. I have a ton of art museum videos from around the world that I bet you'll enjoy.